Now we're going to transition to artifacts, because artifacts is another big topic. If you have any specific questions about artifacts, then let's go over those now. So on artifacts, when it says on main journey plus stat for every X condition, does that stat increase only apply on main journey mode? You're talking about these. So in the main journey, for every 200 bosses defeated, increase your block by 32 points and effective count X out of X. So no, that applies your stats in all modes. This increases your stats in all modes, not just in main story. It's just giving you a condition, and satisfying that condition increases your stats. Does that make sense? Yeah, there you go. It's quite vague, but there you have it. Rupert says, can you explain resonance in artifacts? There's a few things to keep in mind. That's a very big question, to be honest, but the way resonance works is you obviously collect these resonance stones, and there's different rarities. You have blue rarity, purple rarity, advanced resonance stones, and then you have eventually these ultra extreme resonance stones. But essentially what you're doing is when you're resonating the artifacts, you're increasing the passive effects, and when you star up the artifact, you're increasing both the basic stats and the passive effect as well, and to a higher degree. So resonating is increasing the passive effect, and there's another consideration when it comes to resonating, which is artifact bonds. So you not only have this resonating here, which you can see +8, the resonance is this plus number. So these are all +8 resonance, +6, +8, +6, etc. And in artifact bonds, you have these groups of artifacts that give you additional bonus depending on your resonance level. And depending on your current progression and priority, there's a generally accepted order of best priority when it comes to resonating. That would be everything to +4, then certain to +6, then certain to +9, then etc. So that's how that works. You're going to prioritize quite a lot these stat bias ones. By the way, for those who didn't know, you can in fact group your artifacts by their conditions here. So stat bias, you can have the economic effect ones, combat effects, etc. So that's something, in case you didn't know, that's quite handy to group them. So next up, let's see. Blazwak asks, do we know when and how we can catch up on artifacts missing for old zones? I'm not sure exactly, Blazwak, but I just know that generally people will say that it's always best to pull the most recent zone only. So maybe there will be something in the future where we can get the older ones, but for now I'm not 100% sure. Chris asks, what place is void in artifacts? So the void zone, I'll show you. Void zone is here. It's going to be waves of horror. So void zone is waves of horror. You can see here void. But there might be other modes. Now, when you go and look at Echoes of War, for example, each boss is in a different biome. So right now, the first is Volcano. So Inferno Dragon Feast is Volcano biome. And the second Echoes of War Bane of Lures is in the Desert biome. Then you can see here the Dragon Bounty is in the Volcano biome. Waves of Horror is in the Void biome. And so on. Even some of these Perilous Trials, you see this one's in Desert. This one's in Desert. Siege is in Forest. Mad Giant is in Snowfields. So that's how that works. So the different biome zone artifacts, that's how that works. So Void is Waves of Horror for now, and if there's any other boss coming. Reed says, if you haven't unlocked all of a region artifacts, should you move on to unlock them all and move to the next region? Reed, generally speaking, people will recommend that you always pull from the most up-to-date region that you have access to. So don't go back and do an old region that you're still missing artifacts from. Always progress forwards. Soldier says, are blue rarity artifacts the lowest priority upgrade since it doesn't add to the set bonus? Once you have everything to +4, start going through and prioritizing the artifact bonds for, and then also the artifacts that give economic effects like increased AFK time and bonus chance to draw bonus bubbles and stuff like that. Reed also asks, is it better to upgrade scaling artifacts, i.e. per elite defeated, than flat value artifacts? No, they're both good. I don't think there's better or worse. So they're both very good, but you can see the values here. So let's actually look. So for every 1,000 bosses increased tenacity, this gives 415.8 tenacity. Let me see if I can find a flat tenacity here. Well, it's kind of hard because there's not actually a flat tenacity piece. Let me look for a better example here. For every 2,000 elites, this plus 151 endurance. Let's see if we can find one that just gives flat. Are there any legendaries that give flat? I think it's maybe only for attack. Let's see. Let's look at attack, see if we can get this. So here. So this gives 319 attack, and then in comparison, the clear vision gives 415 attack for this condition. So I think it depends. I was just trying to see if there's a clear answer, but there's not a clear answer. The answer is check. You can check how much stats they each give and determine which one is going to give you more stats. That's the best way. Read. Sorry, I had to just double check that. Sarab says the artifact pack where there were 4 new artifacts are given. Will they be available later? Yes. That artifact pack is already all those artifacts are already available. They were from the volcano region. And so most players should have those by now, unless they got bad RNG. Anya asks, can you reset artifacts? No, which is interesting. And this is one of the only systems in the game where you cannot reset artifacts. So once you make a decision in artifacts, it is permanent. So if you decide to resonate, if you decide to star up, etc., you can't undo that. So that is an important consideration, and is why artifacts are an important system to understand well, because there is no ability to reset. Vsol asks, humanoid artifacts are for what? So humanoid artifacts are for humanoid type enemies. So each enemy has a type in addition to a biome. So there's going to be, like, as I go through here, maybe there's going to be like humanoid, beast, etc. And each one of those effects are going to have an additional damage increase to that enemy type. And I think most of those are in epic. See if we can find a couple of those. Let's see. Damage to, I'm gonna just see which ones. Oh yeah, here we go. So demonic enemies, mechanical enemies, creature enemies, elemental enemies, etc. I'm pretty sure when you look at, let me see if I can pull this up, because if I pull up this one, for example, here, there it is. So when you click on an enemy, especially a boss, you'll see their type here. So King of Desert is a humanoid. So that's where you see the type. And if you go and I click on a different boss, like this one here, you see this is a type dragon. Siege of Forest, this is a type mechanical. So that's where you can tell which type the enemy is. So you have two considerations when it comes to artifact damage. It's both the biome, i.e. forest, desert, void, plus the enemy type, i.e. humanoid, mechanical, etc. So those two things both factor together to determine your damage output. So Sarb's asking again, the 4 artifacts that are available for $15 were the Azure Dragon Seal, White Tiger Seal, Vermilion Bird Seal, and Black Tortoise Seal. They're currently available. Yes, those are here. Look, Sarb, here. I have all of them. Azure Dragon Seal, Vermilion Seal, White Seal, Dragon Seal. You see here. What I meant is you're getting them early in the pack, but they're not only available in the pack. They're from the volcano region. So they were just giving you them early, giving you a choice of them early, but you can still get them as free to play from the volcano region once you get there.